You know I'm falling in love, that's for someone else.
What's good, y'all? So in this video, I'm gonna be reacting to the biggest problem with J. Cole. I just woke up, so voice ill, but my voice is usually ill. Sound like a muppet. His new song just came out, Grippy. I did not react to it because I already heard it, so I'm not going to react to something I've already heard. The shit was terrible. It was terrible. Like, I was confused as to did he actually go in, listen to the shit, and be like, "Whoa, this is good." And that's my second favorite rapper, so don't get on here trying to be like, "You're a hater." Same thing with fucking You My Everything with Sexy Red and Drake. Drake's part was decent, but not enough to save that song. To the point where the only time I've listened to it is if I watched somebody else react to it. But would I ever listen to it on my own? Fuck no. And Grippy, hell no. Kendrick, what the fuck did you do to these motherfuckers? Because this is ridiculous. They did not, y'all just got off a first person shooter, and then this little run y'all did with him, and y'all released this bullshit. You know what? Anyways.
In the middle of throwing some of the most personal, scathing, and impactful diss tracks that rap has seen in a very long time. One of the narratives that a lot of rap fans were running around saying that was because of the way this beef twisted into something that beyond lyrical sparring became so personal and even career damaging, was that J. Cole is the real winner of this beef because he got away from everything. And while it may be true that Cole walked out of this feud better than Drake did, as he has far less negative attention coming to him and he didn't get made out to be an absolute clown, Cole is still at a crossroads in his career, as the guy who has always been seen as one of the most unproblematic people in rap is now being challenged with coming back from this absolutely insane moment in hip-hop where, whether he likes it or not, because of his choice.
And this is just a question because I'm not sure. I haven't been around for that many beefs, like real beefs. Like Megan and Nicki, like I know they don't like each other and they might throw a song, but genuine, like Tupac and Biggie, I was not born when that shit was going on. Nas and Jay-Z, I have no like knowledge of Ja Rule and Fit. Like I was just not aware. I was very young at that time. So, isn't it usually career damaging for one person? Like people are like, "Oh my god, like this was ridiculous. Like this was so crazy. This is like," but I'm like, isn't it usually like, isn't this kind of light? Mofos usually be killing each other. Am I wrong? Cause that Biggie and Tupac, mofos was, and then even with the trap artists now, mofos end up like gone. So I'm like, as much as this might have hurt or damaged somebody's career a little bit, cause he still released music. It was terrible, but it's obviously like there was people bumping it somehow, so that at least nobody dead.
Like Drake's is. He still has to reshape everything around his career right now, and while some people thought that Cole would be able to just never acknowledge this beef and go back to what he has always done, as his first track since this feud released right on the same day as Drake's with his brand new collab with Cash Cobain, Grippy. What we have seen is that whether you like it or not, J. Cole is facing a much bigger problem than any of us could have thought. So with this track, Grippy, this is the first new music that J. Cole has been a part of since Might Delete later released during the beef, and his verse on Red Leather appeared on Future and Metro Boomin's second album this year,
Which I've never gone back to
with this
either.
new cut. First off, I want to salute Cash Cobain for the...
And I reacted to both of those, by the way. It's a whole folder. A whole playlist of Kendrick Lamar, starting with Like That. I should have put my first person shooter reaction in there too, but Like That with everybody motherfucking diss. Everybody. J. Cole's, Rick Ross, Drake, everything. Up until the Hard Part 6.
Run he is having, from having it be leaked that he ghost wrote and did reference tracks for Drake's songs on For All the Dogs, to hopping on a track with Don Toliver and Charlie Wilson with The Cut Attitude. This guy is having one of the most exciting runs in rap recently, but with his new collab with Cole, despite it being a massive career moment for him as he has somebody as big as Cole on this track. Overall, when we look at what this cut is doing for the entirety of the hip-hop world, damage than anybody could have predicted, because on J. Cole's verse here, he delivers one of his strangest performances in years. Between the weird pocket Cole is rapping in that feels so artificial and off-brand because of the half-baked auto-tune, and the constant way he is trying to rhyme the last
Grippy
word or phrase back with the song title Grippy, which just feels so forced. after showing off that he is one of the best wordsmiths on the planet on Might Delete Later. It was a shock to the entire world to witness Cole sound this terrible, as he raps about the cliche desires and experiences he wants to have with girls he's into, and while the delivery and subject matter on this track are awful enough, Cole makes things even worse as he drops some of the worst bars of his entire career like this. And with a performance this bad, that's following a time where everything Kendrick, Drake, and Cole have done is being looked at under a microscope. Just as Drake's verse on Sexy Red's You My Everything was made fun of just for validating everything Kendrick has dissed him about even more, and also just doing Metro Boomin's job of trolling Drake for him. This song is scaring people as based on the timing and performance of when this verse was released. It looks like we're seeing a version of J. Cole that is trying to exist in an entirely different world and pocket than anyone where he can make Kendrick think that even in the slightest, he is trying to come at him again, and because of this, Cole isn't just giving us music that's off-brand for him and so shallow compared to the heights we know he can reach, but most crucially to this failure, charisma that Cole has donned over the past few years that has made him seem so confident and fearless is all gone. And no matter if Cole did this verse purposefully to get away from Kendrick's hardcore bars and all of the tension in rap right now, or he just ended up doing a feature that was way more light, Cole has shown the culture that going forward with his career, he has hit a wall where if he goes back to rapping like he did on Might Delete Later, the off-season, and through his features where he's throwing subliminals at everyone else, saying he can smoke any other rapper, and even went as far to compare himself to Muhammad Ali to really cement the fighter spirit that he was trying to embody for so long. After seeing how he backed out of the feud regardless of the circumstances, this lyrical style will not hit the same because Cole did not stand out in an overall. It will just feel so performative, but even worse than this, as it looks like the Kendrick and Drake beef will at least be over for a while. Who knows if this could reignite something between Kendrick and Cole, and while if they sparred lyrically and just kept it to bars, it could be fun and really good for the entirety of hip-hop culture. Based on the nature of everything in rap right now, I don't think that this could happen as a whole, so with Cole no longer being able to rap the way he used to, he is now being forced to evolve his artistry, and just like we saw with this new track Grippy, J. Cole is not as versatile as some other artists may be and can't step into these newer styles without looking like he has absolutely no idea what is going on. And by trying out things...
My thing is that I feel like he could have came back talking about it. He likes to get introspective a lot of the time. He could have talked about like his feelings and everything, and I know maybe people would have been like, oh, this is boring. Like, but it would have been much better than listening to fucking Grippy. I don't even know what the fuck that's about, and this man about to be 40. But if he like really talked about and somehow made it catchy, take a page out of Kendrick Lamar's book, Not Like Us, literally was about some very serious topics, and at the end he started teaching mofos. Once upon a time we were on all in chains. You feel me? And then the colonization stuff or whatever, like, make it mainstream or make it sound good, because all mainstream, maybe he thought Grippy was gonna be mainstream, but you make something that is like really deep sound good. Would have been really nice.
Things like this.
To
he
hear
also
his
just makes himself look like a weaker writer than people were saying he was just a few months ago. And because of horrible bars like this, it's only further leading people to think that Kendrick Lamar got to him in a way that broke his artistry down and is now going to make him go in these strange directions. So overall, J. Cole is in this place very similar to Drake, where if he goes back to his old stuff, it'll backfire because he will look pathetic and nobody will even be able to enjoy it the same, and if he tries to go in a new direction creatively, he will be made fun of for letting Kendrick flip his world upside down and forcing him to change lanes. So overall, J. Cole is in a state of limbo where right now, no matter what he does, he will get backlash for it, but unlike Drake, J. Cole is not stuck here at all, and matter of fact, even with this hard obstacle that he has to overcome due to the aftermath of the beef, I think he can move past all of this quite easily. Now, the one power that J. Cole has that Drake will never is something that can always help a rapper move past any sort of career trouble: a conscience. Where Drake always just lets any event that didn't go in his favor make him more emotional and therefore more petty, Cole has the ability to use everything that's went down in the rap game and internalize it, and not just give us a new perspective about these crazy times we have lived through in hip-hop, but also his new perspective on himself. Whether this is telling us the full truth, which may include that Kendrick's close collaborator and former label mate in Schoolboy Q advised him to get out of this beef before things were about to get bad, Or it's Cole explaining to us how he tried to celebrate this generation by getting Kendrick, him, and Drake together on first-person shooter and then feeling guilty for accidentally leaving the rap game in a state where the biggest artists are more divided than they have been in decades. Just from Cole's middle child perspective through this all and the way he has always silently been in the center of everything that went down, Cole can use his lyrical arsenal to, instead of just flexing how good of an MC he is, tell us this genre-shaping story from his perspective that, as a result, would make us look at him in a different way than we have ever seen. Beyond just this, with Kanye West also recently dissing J. Cole on his Like That remix, Cole can also talk about this, which could also make room for some more interesting storytelling and just help flesh out the dynamics of what has been going on in this time in his career. And all in all, if Cole can show us what all of this has looked at from his eyes, and show us how it feels to have an entire genre crashing down on you, all of this could be the perfect material for an album like J. Cole's supposed final project In the Fall Off, as these ideas directly play into factors that destroy rap careers and could even make an MC walk away from it all entirely. So when you look at everything that's went down with Cole from this lens, it's easy to get excited for what he may have coming down the pipeline, because despite how much hate he is getting right now as this horrible Grippy track released, he can still walk out of this polarizing time in his career as the best version of himself that he ever has. He leans into what has always been one of the most powerful aspects of rap music when used right. So with all of
even like what he did on the song that they're playing clips from, Heavens, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Heavens, whatever. It was like a freestyle. It wasn't released or whatever. It was just on YouTube. And he was talking about his, like, him being compared to Kendrick and Drake all the time, and then his Ferrari coupe velocity, fail-proof philosophy. If he just said something like that, where he just like really was vulnerable and talked about this entire thing, I feel like it would be the best decision for him, to be completely honest. Honestly, the only decision. But yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, this is unfortunate that that's what he released it with, and it does seem like this whole thing got to him. But I don't know. Hopefully the next thing is better. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. I'll see y'all in there.